Namaste. What we do, we'll do two Shanti mantras and two Guru Vandanams, followed by our Prarthana Shatapadi prayer. Om Sahana
Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Asato Ma
Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad-padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashyakrito Vande Bhagavantau Punah. And we will go to our Prarthana Shatapadi. And you can open the page 22. Page 22. We'll try to do, I think it's a 4 padas with the 2 lines sloka. So we do 2 at a time. Okay, each line. Avinayam apanaya Vishnu.
Avinaya Apanaya Vishnu.
Damaya manah shamaya vishaya mrugatrusnam.
Damaya Manah Shamaya Vishaya Tashnam.
Bhuta dayam vistaraya.
Bhutadayam Vistaraya.
Taraya samsara sagarataha.
Taraya Samsara Sagarataha.
Divya duni makarande.
Divya Duni Makarande.
Parimala paribhoga sachidanande.
Parimala Paribhoga Sachidanande.
Sripati padarvinde.
Shripati Padarvinde.
Bhavabhaya kedachide vande.
Bhavayate Dachide Vande.
Satyapi veda pagame.
Satyati Veda Pagame.
Nata tavaham namama kinastvam.
Natatavaham Namakinastvam.
Samudro hi tarangaha.
Samudro hi tarangaha.
Kvachana samudro na tarangaha. Na tarangaha.
Kvachana samudro natarangaha.
Uddruta naga naga vidanuja. Dhanuja kula mitra mitra shashi druste.
Dhanjakula Mitra Mitra Shashi Drishti.
Druste bhavati prabhavati.
Drushte Bhavati Prabhavati.
Na bhavati kim bhavati raskaraha.
Na Bhavati Kim Bhavati Skaraha.
Machyadi biravatarai.
Matsyadi Divastharai.
Avatara vatavata sada vasudam.
Avatarvata Sada Vasudham.
Parameshwara paripalyo.
Parameshwar Paripalyo.
Bhavata bhavatapa bhitoham.
Bhavata Bhavata Pavitoham.
Damodara gunamandira.
Damodara Gurumandira.
Sundara vadanara vinda govinda.
Sundaravadana Ravinda Govinda.
Bhavajaladi madhana mandara.
Bhavajagati Manandara.
Paramam darpanamaya tvame.
Paramam Darpanamaya Tvame.
Narayana karunamaya.
Narayana Karunamaya.
Sharanam karavani tavakau charanau.
Sharanam Karvani Tavako Charanam.
Iti shatpadi madiye.
Iti Shatapadi Madhye.
Vadana saroje sada vasatu.
Vadana Saroje Sada Vasatu.
Vadana saroje sada vasatu.
Vadana Saroje Sada Vasatu.
Yesterday we had a general introduction about this Arsha Vidya Mahotsava. It's a kind of jnana yajna, and it's a celebration of the knowledge in connection with Acharya Shankaracharya, the greatest philosopher of Hindu philosophy or Sanatana Dharma. In order to understand all the literature that is available, particularly the knowledge that is available, why do we not need the knowledge? We talked about yesterday. All knowledge, all life is meant to realize who you are and why you are here, and from here where you are going. The biggest question that we ask ourselves is, who am I? With that quest in the mind, we incline to get that knowledge. Unfortunately, that knowledge is always has an opposite word. It's called ignorance. In the Sanskrit terminology, we have two terms called Vidya, Avidya. Vidya is more than connotation of the knowledge of self, the subjective. And Vidya generally that is used as a knowledge that is generally used is not about the knowledge that you know everything that about the world and the day-to-day activity. The Vidya is knowledge about the subject, that is the self. And what is preventing to get that Vidya is the Avidya. And that Avidya is because of the duality, because of the our attachment to the two. As we talked about that there is only one. It is not one, two, it is only one. Everything is Ishvara, everything is God, everything is Brahman. And what is making that not to realize that concept of one and many? Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuta Vadanti, why is the wise called with the different names? Is because of our attachment to the body-mind sensory complex. Now, how does it happen? Why? If it is all one and becomes many, and why this delusion? Why this Maya? Why this kind of avidya? But it operates unfortunately with the two ways. One is called Avarana Shakti, the other one is called Vikshepa Shakti. Avarana is covering, and Vikshepa is a projection. And these two things makes us not to realize who we are. And that's why all this knowledge that is taking place in the world is we use the three terms. One is called discover. Discover, whatever is covered, which is avarana, that discover. So knowledge is always there. We think we discovered America, discovered the gravitation and all those things, but it is not. It is not discovered by somebody. We are only taking the cover off that one. And whatever, that is the avarana shakti. The other one is a vikshepa, projection, which is the original one that you forget, you project on something on that one, just like a Rajasarpa example, like you're projecting a snake over the rope. And that is a misapprehension. And that vikshepa also is one of the things is causing this avarana, or the vikshepa as a maya. These two operates under the avidya. And that avidya, you call it maya, illusion, delusion, whatever you call it. And because you are forgetting about yourself and because of the superimposition of that one, and because of that, our parampara, from the ancestral time onwards, we have a line of gurus, a lineage of the gurus came. And it starts with the devas. And this is not yesterday or 5,000 years ago or a million years ago. It's an eternal. There's a timeless one. In that one, we can call, it a parampara. What kind of paramparas we have? A first parampara is called Deva Parampara. And the second one is called Rishi Parampara. And the third one is called Manava Parampara. Let us analyze that one. It's a little bit of, takes us, because why that one looks like two and why that puts you into the samsara and why we suffer every day. And there is no sukha, in this samsara. The minute you have taken the birth till you travel towards the death, and there is no sukham in this one. Everything is dukkha. Samsara is called dukkha. You buy anything perishable, anything that is taken the birth and eventually perishes. And during that process, there is no sukha. Even if you get sukha, that's only temporary, transitory. Even that sukha is also followed always by dukkha. Always, invariably on that one. If you analyze your part of the life you have spent so far, there is no sukha. It's only transient, a flush of your eyelids type of thing. The rest of the thing is all dukkha. In order to tell that this is you are living in ignorance, avidya, realize that you are swarupa, you are the ananda, and you are self in ananda. You are the one that you are attached to your given vehicle, and instead of playing your part, and because of that is your own leela, and that to understand that one ekam sat vipraha bauddha vadanti, this lineage came. To start with first Deva lineage. In the Deva lineage is in that parampara, first one is there is only one. We call it as a Brahman, or you can call Ishvara, you can call knowledge, universal consciousness, or energy, whatever you call it. You put any name into that, it's only indication. There is no nama rupa for that one. Once you put as a name and a shape, that becomes the duality. That you are already in the avidya, that one. So in this one, our shastras, over the time, they have given that the knowledge, particular knowledge, is by that Vasudeva and Sankarshana, then Pradyumna, Aniruddha. If you see our own swastika sign, swastika has how many? 4 wings. Mahavishnu. The Mahavishnu is not the Vishnu I am talking about, not the Shiva, not the Shakti we are talking about. Mahavishnu is the Brahman. That is the ultimate force or ultimate energy. That Mahavishnu, when you look at the pictures that we imagine, or for indication, what do we have? How many arms he has? He has 4 arms. In 4 arms, the right upper arm, left upper arm, back arms, what are those holding? One is Shankha, other one Chakra. And the right front and the left front, what do they hold? One is Kamala, other one is Mace. These are the standard 4 ayudas. Then you look into the even scientific data that we say, scientific data that we have noted today, is that you have 4 arms in the galaxy. 4 arms, they are names also. There are 4 names for those. These are always revolving, continuous revolving of these arms will give you some idea. Then even that swastika sign and also the 4 arms of Mahavishnu will let you know that this is nothing but a Ichcha, that is Ishvara Ichcha or Svecha. It is his own desire, let me become many, for his own play, Bhagavan Leela. It's behind our conception and perception. It is behind our human eye and senses. So let me become many. That is his Svecha and that is Ichcha. The second one is Kriya Shakti and a Kriya Shakti. So that first one is called Svecha Shakti, is called Vasudeva, and the second one is called Sankarshana. That's a Kriya Shakti. And that Kriya Shakti is depicted by the Sankarshana. And the Sankarshana is the one which goes into the next step is Pradyumna. Pradyumna is the one which is operating Shakti. It's a maintenance Shakti on that one. And that Pradyumna goes into the Aniruddha. And if you plug this one into the Om and these 4, Omkara as the 4 quarters and 4 parts, that Akara, Ukara, Makaram, and also the Turiyam. Turiyam is the Vasudeva, and then second one is Sankarshana, which is the Makaram. Then you get Ukaram, is the Pradyumna, and the fourth one is called Aniruddha. These four has been noted even at the Deva Parampara. And later on with the duality, when the duality is there, it translates into Trinity Devas. And the Trinity Devata is nothing but Vishnu, Brahma, Shiva. This Trinity is actually put it into the practice, then you can plug into that operating Shakti is another one. That is also is depicted into many things. So the Trinity gods is the Dvaita. But if you go into Advaita, these are the only four on those things. Now, Deva we talked about. Because we are talking about this one to understand, in order to understand how the knowledge has been percolated over the time. Now the second strata I said is about the Rishi Parampara. Rishi Parampara, we all know that Rishi Parampara is nothing but from Vasishtha. From Vasishtha to his son is Shakti. His son is who? Parasarma, Maharshi. And after that, who is the son of the Parasara Muni? Vyasa. Who is the son of Vyasa? Sukha. Now, with this parampara, you have knowledge of the Rishi Parampara. Now, Deva Parampara, we already talked about, and the Rishi Parampara is there. Now comes into the Manava Parampara. There is a breakage of that parampara, just like in Bhagavad Gita says that, starting from the sun, God, I have been teaching that one, but over the time it is broken. Now I am teaching you, Arjuna, like that. And between this Deva Parampara, then Rishi Parampara, there is a breakage. Then it started with the Manav Parampara, started with the Gaudapada. Gaudapada was the guru of the Govinda Pada. Govinda Pada's Sishya is who? Shankaracharya. And Shankaracharya, now we talk about this, the four parampara, how it happens on that one. During the parampara of the Rishi, again you have four Sishyas. And it is not just put like that one, haphazardly, that there are four Sishyas for the Vedavasa. And similarly, there are four Sishyas for Shankara. Now let's talk about what are the Sishyas of the Vyasa. Vyasa has a Paila. Second one is called Vaisampayana. Third one is Jaimini. Fourth one is Sumantu. Now, these four of them were entrusted with the four Vedas. Now, why did he do that? Veda is only one. But Veda Vyasa, who has divided that one Veda into four, Rig Vedam, Yajur Vedam, Sama Vedam, Other Vedam. So these four Vedas, when he divided, he has entrusted into the four directions with the four, realized, intuitive, Sishyas. And Paila was entrusted with the Rig Vedam, Vaisampayana with the Yajur Vedam, and the Jaimini is for Sama Vedam, and the Sumanto is for Atharva Vedam. Now they have entrusted with that one. They have done many books. Many books was left over in the form of Shrutis, because they have intuitive knowledge. It is not by the human origin. It is Apaurusheya at that time. So they spread the knowledge over the time. That was happened when? When was this? 5,000 years ago. When the Lord Krishna ascended, that was 3102 BC. Exactly. Then when he ascended, that is when Kali Yuga started, and it was written before that one, on Talapatras. Before that is all oral tradition. After that, it is everything documented on that one. And later on, when there is a breakage on that one, and over the centuries, the Acharya, Shankara, that he came, and he has picked up that thread, and then again did the same thing with the four disciples on that. Now, and he did because of this. Now, at that time, it was more of the intuitive knowledge was given by the more memory and oral tradition, but this is done by the text, and there will be a problem. So they have to establish mutts. So Shankaracharya has taken, he has traveled to India from north to south, east to the west, 3 times. By foot. He has gone there. So he has established 4 mutts, and then starting from the east, which is, he is the Govardhana mutt, and that is Padmapada. And then you have the south, which is the Sringeri, and he has entrusted who? He is entrusted Sureshwaracharya. Then you go to the west, is Dwarka, and in Dwarka he has entrusted the Astamalika. And then you go to the north, which is Jyotirmat, and he entrusted in the Totakacharya. So these 4 Sishyas have spreading on that one. Now beauty of this thing is that, now how did they come up with these 4 directions and 4 mutts and 4 knowledge, with the Rigvedam, Yajurvedam, Samavedam, Atharvavedam. And it is, if you plug into that in materialistic life, day-to-day life on that one, you can plug exactly the same thing. Now let us see how you can plug into that. You take a birth, then you have brahmacharyam, right? First one stage. And then you have the grihastha, then vanprastha, then sannyasa. And then you heard from all these 4 Sishyas, either from the Vedavasa or from this our Shankaracharya, 4 of them have utilized 1 Mahavakya from each Veda. And the Prajnanam Brahma is the first one from Rigveda on that. Then Aham Brahmasmi is the second one, which is from Yajurveda. And Samaveda is Tattvam Asi. And the 4th one is I am Atma Brahma. That is Atharvana Veda. And these 4 Mahavakyas, if you plug into that reality of our life, in the human life, that when the baby is in the womb of the mother, that the vibrations that takes place to the blood circulations, or the waves that are created on that one, that sound, if there is a sonogram that a scientist can, detect that one, that sound is a Omkaran sound. That is the Prajnanam Brahman sound. And that baby will be remembering all his previous janmas while is in the womb. Not only that, that baby will be remembering all his past lives till the 3 months after the birth. And that's how you can explain. No scientist can explain why the baby smiles. Who taught that smile to her? Him. And that's why up to 3 months. Then after 3 months, when the external forces already talking about, the minute he is born, first thing is cry. Crying is the one. Cry is the samsara. It started with that one. That's why he came here, to cry. So then that Prajnanam Brahma, once it is gone through that one, and then you will say from mother, father will be start teaching it from 3 months to onwards on that one. During that brahmacharya, you'll be thinking, you'll be tattvam asi. You are that, don't forget. Now after 3 months you're okay, but you don't forget, you are that. So continuously teaching up to that one in our Gurukulam, a father, the son, parampara, they will be telling continuously, you are that. And then once we come into the Grihastha, and Grihastha to the Vanaprastha transition, up, then you will be Abhyasa, you'll be doing that one. I am Atma Brahma. I am Atma Brahman. Oh, I am that. I am that. So you will be practicing that one. Then once you get into that Vanaprastha and then realization of the knowledge, then once you reach that sannyasa, you declare Aham Brahmasmi. This is classically all those things, each Veda, 1 Mahavakya has been plugged into the reality of the life. And if you plug that knowledge suitably, and the life will be good, because you will be realizing that the self in you isn't self in all, it is only the costume. You are only the actor, and the acting costume, you are wearing it, and then as long as you act according to your role, you'll be happy. But if you don't want to follow the rule and being a king outside and you want to play a beggar role, then while begging and somebody is insulting you, hey guy, why you want to insult me? I'm a king. And if you remember that you are identified with this, kind of the body, mind, senses, then the problem starts on that. Now, this type of knowledge, we are indebted and to the Shankaracharya, who has rejuvenated this knowledge. Renaissance took place during that period. There is a lot of controversy about when was the period of Shankaracharya, how long ago was that, where was he born, and there are 14 different theories have been in the place, and most of them looking into his the discussions with the other people, Shankara Vijayam, those granthas, if you based upon the linguistic area, they could plug it. Most probably there are two. They come to the two. One is he was born in the Kaladi, and that's where during that time 788 to I think 832. Yeah. So he's 32 years old. 820. The other one is much earlier. That was in around 70 BC to 30 BC during the Vikramaditya. Which Vikramaditya we don't know. There are two Vikramaδιtyas are there. So first Vikramaditya. So no matter what it is, when he was born, how long ago, but during that time it is sure that there is a rapid spread of Jainism as well as Buddhism. And then not only that, these are the offshoots came because there is a very rapid travel towards the Karmakanda. They are struck with the Karmakanda. See, Veda has a definitive pattern. When the Vedavasa divided those into 4, there is a definitive pattern on this. So each Veda has a 4 parts into that one. Very first one is called Samhita, or you call mantra. Just mantra itself with the prosody, the chandas, the way they built up that one, it has its own power. And then Gayatri mantra is that one, that Omkara is that one. It has its own power. You don't have to understand that meaning on that one. So that prosody, that mantra, once you have done, then you go into that, how do you applicate? Because we are struck with our body, mind, senses, because vehicle, that's only there. You have to have a mind. Without the mind, you cannot realize who you are. So the mind is there. So as long as you have the mind, you need to, understand that one. So mantra is a samhita, second one is a brahmana. So what is the kind of brahmana? So they will explain about the brahmana. Then goes into the aranyaka. Aranyaka is the contemplation. What is this? What is this mantra? What is this the procedures? Why you are doing on that one? You contemplate on that one. Then you go to Vedanta, Upanishads. So first part is the Karmakanda, second part is Jnanakanda. So all these people during that BC, when the Buddhism, Jainism, was 500 BC, both Jainism, Buddhism, and the extreme ritualism in the Hinduism, because we told that Hinduism is not a religion. Hindu term was invented or told only in the 17th, 18th century, when the people, the Persians and the English people were ruling that one. That's when the Hindu religion was named. Before that, it's the way of living, Sanatana Dharma. It's always a Sanatana Dharma. All these rituals and all those things, building the temples and all those things happened only in the early BC, later on to the, spread into the later on into the AC. Now, having said all these things, what did the Shankaracharya did during that critical time? During that critical time, what he did is, how do we bring these people back? That this entire knowledge that has been embedded through the, in our Sanatana Dharma, and also it was carried on by the Vedavasa, by different rishis. How do I bring back this renaissance or bring back all these things? So he has written a lot of bhashyas and Prasthantrayi, that includes the Bhagavad Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita and Brahma Sutra. Then after that one, he still, was not happy with that, because, even though he did analyze and give the bhashya, people are not able to understand. So what he did next time is Prakarana Granthas. In the Prakarana Granthas, he has written many of them. One of them is Viveka Chudamani, Atma Bodha. These are all Prakarana Granthas. Then because the people are struck, and then also because the rule of this 600 to 800 years of rule by foreign rule, there's a lot of diversion took place, or distortion took place in our Shastras. So we know that this is going to happen. And then it was happening even during the Shankaracharya time. So what he did is, he has given accordingly the Karmakandic one. He has put all this, embedded all this knowledge into what? Into these prayers and hymns. So in the prayer form, so he has set, bhashyas, which is a critical analysis of that one to make them understand. Second one is the Prakarana Granthas, and the third one is hymns and prayers. And one such prayer is our Vishnu Shatapadi, or called Prarthana Shatapadi. So with that, what we do, I think today, with this background, why this Shatapadi came into the existence. Now, in what circumstances he has written, where it's unlike Manisha Panchakam and other things, there was some kind of incident. But here we don't, I don't find, at least, even Vimalji also checked into that, cross-checked on the Google Mata, but I don't think we got any answers on that one. So whatever the reason, but this I think is the reason, because he was so passionate. How do we hand over this knowledge to the common person? And through because everybody is struck with this, the Karmakanda, and mostly struck with, praying it, and I want this, I know desires. Desire is still a problem on that, because that means, desire means that is, you are struck with that. So basically, these prayers will give you a little bit of more insight into that, and then it will incline to you ask a question. First question is, who am I? And second question is, why am I here? And the third question is, where am I going from here? So in order to put this particular Vishnu Shatapadi, apart from the Vishnu Sahasranama, which is the one first commentary he has done, Shankaracharya, this is a shorter one. He has even one, with shortest one is the Ekasloki. In Ekasloki also he put entire Vedanta, all this knowledge we talked about, entire knowledge, these Mahavakyas and everything, that what you are, there is a Vidya, Avidya, there is Atma, Anatma, all these things he has embedded this thing in one sloka. And that which, will be taking a time, to understand. But once the person, the student is eligible for that, the sadhana setusthai, that is going to be taught 1 week, and you will be eligible to know that one sloka will give entire thing. And likewise, Vishnu Sahasranama is also, one such thing. And that is 1,000, names. Here is a 6 words, padas. And each one, if you look into that, if you carefully look into that, page 22, and if you look into that first sloka, let's read that one and systematically analyze this, what it is. Then you will understand what is the beauty of this. Entire Vedanta has been put into 6 verses on that one. Okay, let's read again together. Avinayam apanaya Vishnu
Avinaya Apanaya Vishnu
Damaya manaha shamaya vishaya murgatrusnam
Damaya Manaha Samaya Vishnu Murgatrushnam
Bhuta dayam vistaraya
Bhutadayam Vistaraya
Taraya samsara sagarataha.
Taraya Samsara Sagarataha.
Now, if you look into this sloka, this first verse will tell Ekam Satviparaha Bauddha Vadanti. Ekam Satviparaha Bauddha Vadanti. This gives you all knowledge on that one. Then each line, words means 2 lines. First line has 6 words, second line was 6 words. And 6 lines have all that, And beautifully, now, not only that, it becomes a rhythm and a rhyme. It gives you vibration. It's a wave, not a particle, it's a wave. That wave type of thing gives you the meaning in a synchronous and also, ascending manner on that one. If you look into that, Avinayam, Mapanayam, Vishnu. So Vishnu is the one which is the Brahman, all pervading on that one. And this Vishnu will be telling you there is a Vidya and Avidya. Please remember that one. That you are not the body, you are not the mind. I have given only the vehicle for entertainment and enlightenment. You need to use only for that purpose, but remember me all the time. This is me. This is me. So in that one, Avinayam. Avinayam is what? Avinayam is pride, the ego. And the Avinayam is the one which, a kind of the word that you say, because it's I and me. It's a mind feeling on that one. And then once you have that, and then you have to take that out. Otherwise, if you take, as long as you're identified with that one, you never get the knowledge. You will be still in the avidya, in that ignorance on that one. And that particular one is, how do you understand? By analysis, by neti neti. This is not the one. I am not. Because I am talking, right? I am talking now and you are listening. And then I am telling, I am Chandra Reddy, and then this is my body. I am telling my body. And I am Chandra Reddy. Who is that telling I am? And then also, not only that, you have those three avasthas. You have wakeful and dream and the deep sleep, and then also turiyas. Up to the deep sleep, you still you go to the waking status. Our mind is working and body is working, right? All the body, both of them working. In the dream state, what is the only mind is working? Whatever is constructed, whether this life or the previous life, all those things will be coming into the dream. And when you go to the deep sleep, you don't remember. No body, no mind. It's like almost like a dead person. But still, when you wake up, what do you say? Oh, I had a good sleep. Who is that? Who remembers that? And that I is nothing but Brahman. That I is nothing but a knowledge. That I is but nothing but the universal consciousness. Once you transect that one, and by neti neti, or whatever adhyasana, adhyaropa type of thing, when you go behind that, you will realize you have that turiya, the fourth one. And that fourth one is the one which is the time zero. And the rest of the thing is a time level 1, 2, 3. And once you realize that, and you will become an awareness, that so-called Nisargadatta, the famous guy from the Maharashtra, he is very good on that one. I am that I am, which is nothing but all this, the Bible, it talks about is Moses and all those things. That has been there in our shastras, yugas ago. So that type of thing is avinayam, is one of the things. Don't stuck to your body, mind, sensory complex. You realize. And then what is the vinayam? Vinayam is the kind of the thing is still that you are with the mamakaram, ahankaram, also stress of that will be there. What happens in that one during that, you may be very vinayam. Vinayam means very, very, humility. But you may be humility because it is your boss, or he has big money. So you can do that. Or it could be because out of fear. It could be. Not that he is talking about. Shankaracharya was giving that one. That it has to be, without any attachment, without any looking into the results. That humility has to be like that. Now, how do you, in the day-to-day life, even they compare in our Shastras, Swami Viditatmananda, Swami Tattvavidananda Swami, who are the disciples of Dayananda Saraswati, they have beautifully explained that Vinayam has to be like this. It has just like a tree laden with fruits. It will bend. It will bend. Unlike the tree, which is the dry, and eat and then stick. So I am, this is me type of thing. And even if you have a dry and then say standing still, then you don't have it. Even if you want bend with that feeling, you will break it. Whereas your vinayam has to be a laden, kind of thing. Now, the actions that we are going to do is not only just by physical thing. It has to be manasa, vacha, kayaka. It has to be three ways. That vinayam has to be there. So he is asking that Vishnu, all-pervading God, please take away my pride, that ego, the biggest one which is causing the problem on that one. Yesterday we talked about, because it's a day-to-day life we have, that our suffering, our sorrows are all dependent upon these four types of people we talked about, briefly. But I would like to repeat it. Repetition is very important for our understanding. Four types of people is called artha. That whenever there is a problem comes, whether you have a fever, a kind of disease, and something, a kind of difficulty comes, then you remember. Now you remember when? You remember father, mother, or friend, or whenever you did, like my college kids, whenever they need a tuition fees, they will remember me. After till that time, they don't remember that. So this is called artha. And the second one is called artharthi. Artharthi is a desire to get something. Not only wealth, but everything. Is a desire to get that one. Then onlo, okay, you'll come. 99% of us will come to the temple to have artharthi. We'll ask. Some people come during the sickness and other things, that is artha, but artharthi are many. They will come. I need a good girl to get married. I need a college education. I need to pass all those things. These are artharthi. So we will be coming on that. And the third one is called jijnasu. The jijnasu is an inclination. He has been going through the life. And then, wife behaves in different way, children behave in different way, and friend will deceive you, your brother will deceive you. Hey, what is happening, all these things? What is this? And why, in spite of giving a good help, they are deceiving me? What is this? So he gets a kind of jijnasu, some inclination. This must be something else. It's not in our hands. And then he will be continuing to see that, even if I'm sleeping, my heart is continuing to beat. And then, everything, whatever I put in the stomach, the minute I born till I die, no matter what hamburgers and other things you put it doesn't matter. It will continue to work. And also though, you have this heartbeat, and everything taking its own course of things, there must be something. That's called jijnasu. Then you will continue to, look into that one. Then jnani. Fourth one is the jnani. Jnani is the one, yes, I am that I am. I am not this body, mind, sensory complex. I am the, Atma. So that is the jnani on that one. These four type of people, with this one, once you have that knowledge, you will be. Then the second three words called Dhamaya Mana Shamaya Vishaya Mrugatrusnam. So how this realization comes is that most of the time Dhamaya is Dhamaya Samaya. There are many different meanings for this one. Dhama Sama is one of the Sama. Those are the one kind of meanings on that. The other one is take away type of thing. And this is all meant to that mind level. First one is the Vishnu level. It went around, first three words went around the Vishnu. All pervading energy, that's what it is. The second one is talking about the duality. First one is a non-dual. He has explained beautifully in that one. Second three words, they call Dhamaya, Samaya, Manaha. Mana is the mind, that vehicle. And then Mrugatrusnana. See, Mrugatrusnana means what? See, it is like a mirage in the desert, right? And it's a certain, scientifically we can explain certain angles and with the sand particles, how, So you take the example of animal, like deer. It continue to, run after that one. Ultimately what happens? It dies because of the dehydration, other things on that one. And then day-to-day example in our life also, we see the dog. It picks up the bone and continue to chew on that one. There is no flesh on the bone. Once continue to chew on that one, its own blood will be coming into the mouth and it will be tasting. So tasting that one, oh yeah, it feels good, this is tasty. And that connotes that ananda is not outside, not in the distant, which is in the mirage, not in the near, which is in the bone, even it is the bone. It is both near and far. It's far and near. That is you. That is you. You are here, you are there, everything is there. That is you, Satchitananda. That Ananda is within you. And all this Ananda, the daily pleasure that you get, is because of that self. You love your wife, you love your children, you love your friends, not because of them. You are loving yourself. Because that is the connection you have, because that self is giving that one. So that's why it brings that this meaning is that you take, all these things are your sense gratification going out there. Don't, go after them. Those are all tuchya, mithya. And the satya is you. That is sat Chit Ananda. You are the existence, you are that knowledge, and you are that Ananda. And just like, it's your innate nature on that one. In the innate nature is just like a fire has the warmth and the light. Warmth and the light. And our nature is the same thing, Satchitananda. And in other words, we want to say is love and give. Love and give. Just like any 5 elements, they are doing it on their routine basis. Love and give. Even our heartbeat tells us. Love, dub. Hey, love, dub, duplicate it, whatever that is there. Everything is given. Okay. And this is exactly what we need to realize day-to-day life on that. Now, this is second, the 3 words mentioned that one. Now, we go to the third, second line. 3 words and 3 words again. Okay? And Bhuta Dayam Vistaraya. Bhuta, Daya, and Vistaraya. Now, in this also, you realize that once you realize self in you is self in all. Self in you is and self in all. That you will be realizing all jivas. How many jivas we have? We have 84 lakhs. 8.4 million lakhs. Out of that you have Udbija, you have Jarayuja, you have Svejada and Andaja. Coming Andaja is from the eggs, you all know that. Udbija is from the earth and Jarayuja from your womb. And then the Svedaja is from the sweat. I bring the bananas and put it overnight. There are, the insects come just like that. Where are they coming from? From moisture. Likewise, we have 84, lakhs. Out of that, 400,000 are the human species. 8 lakhs are, there's 8 million. 8 millions are all other but 400,000 species. How many scientists have analyzed how many human beings we have? They didn't even figure out, it's only on the fingers you can count on that one. But 400,000 of them. And they have been divided into 4 different categories. And in that Vyavastha and that Parampara, over the Parampara, they have given based upon these 3 gunas, Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic, and a combination of those things. Predominant, the Sattvic is the Brahmana, and then predominant Rajasic is the Kshatriya, and a predominant combination of these 2 with the lower Tamasa is called Vaishya, and then the predominant Tamasa is the Shudra. That doesn't mean, Tamasa, remember that Tamasa doesn't mean is lazy guy. It's not lazy. It's a lazy in the sense is lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge. Tamasic people, actually Ishvara has been called as a lazy guy. Always going into that in, half eyes closed and just sit down all the time, not doing anything. And that is, you call him Tamasic? It's not. And a Tamasic, without Tamasic, person cannot live it. Without Tamasa, you cannot get to sleep. So with this combination of those things, with this Varna, and then they said that, hey, you have 4 quarters to live, 4 stations to pass through. Then he has given that Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. So, remember what you are, and in Bhagavad Gita tells you that, you do your duty, even if it is perfect, rather than doing the duty of others, even if it is perfect. Sorry, you do your duty, even if it is imperfect, but, sometimes you may feel like, you are doing a perfect, some other job, but it's not the routine on that. I don't want a butcher who's cutting very clean cuts of those lion, the thigh meat. I don't want him to do the operation on mine, because he may be doing just, he's skilled on that one, but that's not the person I wanted. So your Swadharma has to do that one. So all this Varnashrama, everything is based upon this Bhuta. Everything has its own kind of things. So, just treat them as they are, as it is. That way you can understand that everybody has a role to play, that you will be connecting, very appropriately on that one. Now, treating people, most of the time, day-to-day life, what we do, that there are some people who are equal, there are some people who are superior, some people are inferior. No matter what it is, whether it's knowledge, wealth, or anything is concerned, or beauty, and that. But whenever you see that, don't feel jealous about comparing the superiors. and don't mistreat the lower one on that one, and then your equals make a friendship and revere over the older people, the superior, so that you will get benefit out of it. Don't get jealous. That's the reason the Shatru that we have, Kama, Krodha, Moha, Lobha, Madamacharya, all the 6 enemies of this one, try to be win over that one, because these out of that one we call lag, L-A-G, lust, anger and greed comes out of that. Lust, anger and greed, you lag behind. L-A-G, you lag behind. But the Shastras will tell, Daya, you have that on the creatures, and Vistaraya, spread that love, spread everything that you have. What is that you are spread? Because your inner nature, Satchitananda, your inner nature is loving and giving. Spread that one. How do you spread that one? Because you realize the self is the only one, and the self in me, in self in all. So at that time, what you do? You treat them equally, right? So when you are treating them equally, the people will be all happy. There is no dukkha, thing. But there are 4 things that you have to remember in that one. One is called, I call 4 A's or 4 highways. Highways. I told you these 3 lag, you lag behind, you'll go definitely to the hell. That's the gateway to the hell. Alright. Because in this life, in the year after too. But these 4 high A's, I call highways. A's is number 1 is abhaya. Abhaya means no fear. When you realize the self is only one, there is no other. If there is no other, why do I fear? I am the only one, right? So you remember that everybody has its own, they are playing their own part, except as you see, as it is, except as they are, there is no fear. Nobody is going to hurt you. Even if somebody is going to kill you, it is a play. It is a play, there must be some reason. So try to get that knowledge and what is happening. So abhaya. Number 2 is asanga, attachment. So don't get attached to your body, mind, senses. Instead of that, attach to only Ishvara. Okay? Then the third one is ahimsa. And then you know that one, ahimsa is self-explanatory. Ahimsa connotes many meanings, not only just hitting somebody or thing. And ahimsa also on the 3 levels is called what? Manasa, vacha, karika. You have to do that ahimsa. And the 4th one is, that is your own swarupa, ananda. So asanga, abhaya, ahimsa, ananda. These 4, if you remember, because you remember this only thing when you say the self in me, self in all, everybody is a universal consciousness, we are only wearing the different costumes, then everybody will be happy because you're playing your role according to your gunas, according to your ashramas, everything appropriately, your life moment to moment will be happy here and hereafter on that one. You won't be looking for any swarga somewhere else. Your swarga is right here, within that conscious level on that one. Now, in order to do this, the Bhutadaya, the Prarthana, this prayer, because this prayer is giving you how you can treat the fellow beings or fellow creatures or fellow creations on that one is Panchayatana Puja. If you go into this temple, it's beautifully, many times I'm not tired of telling this temple is the most beautiful, and Shastra, according to the Shastras, Stapatya Veda, they have built this one. You walk into that one, no matter, you be aware of other deities, but there are 5 locations, very systematically, and in a location they have put. Number 1, as soon as you enter, I'm talking about only the deities, Panchayatana Puja, is Ganesha. That is called Manisha Yajna. And the Ganesha is a connotation saying that of animal, of human being body, is you Manisha. Manisha is the combination of Deva and Asura. These are the 2. Animal and Deva, that is Ganesha. That is the Manisha Yajna. Then you go to the straight, it's a Durga. Durga is a Pitru Yajna. Or you call it Matru Yajna, Pitru Yajna, it's all ancestors on that one. Then the center is Shiva. He is the Guru Yajna. He is the Adi Guru. He is the one who is the knowledge, who is giving all the thing on. And next one is the Lord Venkateshwara. He is the Deva Yajna. And you create whatever the manifestations, whether you are Trinity or multiple 33 gods, or got 33 gods, there is a misunderstanding and a lot of different connotations to that one. They call Mukhoti Devata means 3 crores gods, means it's not Koti. Koti is a type. K-O-T-E is not a crore. It is a type. Then in that 33 is the types, 33 types. There are 33 exclusively explained in our Shastras, is that one. There are 12 Adityas, 11 Rudras, then 8 Vasus, then you have 1 Prajapati, and then 1 the Brahman on that one. So sometimes they do the Indra and Brahma, all those things they will do that, but this is, and then you analyze them, and then we need, lot of time to explain that. You analyze those 33 gods, these are the administrative gods. Just like Obama or president or our Modi Saab, he has all this, a kind of administrative, people are there, and these are the administrative gods. And each one is converted into the Vedic gods. Vedic gods are primarily meant for only the 5 elements. Panchabhutas. Vedic gods are different than our Dvaita, the gods. But Dvaita gods came into the existence because to explain on our level, because as long as they're in Vyavaharika level, we are not in a Paramarthika level. Vyavaharika level, you need to understand, and these Vedic, gods are different than this one to make you understand on that one. So in this one, Bhutadaya Vistaraya. So with all this knowledge, spread that knowledge.
What is the 5th one?
Fifth one is the, we went to the
Navagraha.
5th one is the sun, the solar, the Navagraha.
Navagraha.
That is called Bhuta Yajna. So thank you very much for reminding on that. So 5th one is the Bhuta Yajna. And Bhuta Yajna connotes everything, whatever that is living and non-living, their fellow creatures and all those things, it's called Bhuta Yajna. These 5, knowingly or unknowingly, we are doing those things. So with that Bhuta Yajnas, and with all this reverence to the elders, and then taking humility, serving the lowers, and making friendship to the equals, and that makes your life happy here and hereafter on that one. Then the second 3 words, last 3 words in this sloka, is called Taraya Samsara Sagaraha. This is beautiful, And then this, let me come out of this, this kind of ignorance, this samsara. Samsara, most of the people misunderstand that samsara means my family, my wife, my children, my grandchildren. That's not the samsara. Samsara is a birth, growth, decline and death. You are here. It's a perishable thing. That you came with a costume, that costume you acquired here. And there is a big creation history from Nasdiya Suktam to the scientific one, even the present one, that we can explain based upon that. This will explain samsara is nothing but whatever you have a previous karma, that that prarabdha karma, that takes a shape in this one, having a new costume. It could be any costume. Out of those 84 million costumes that you have, 84 lakhs of those costumes available, you can take any costume depending upon what you have done in the previous one. And not only previous one, you can get that costume even in this Janma. That you behave like an animal, you will be, if you are already prarabdha karma as exhausted, you will accumulated some more here, and you will be getting practified in this only, So whatever you are doing, it is accumulates into the sanchita karma, then again it will be coming as a part of the karma on that one. So in the last one, he says that you realize this is the one that you need to be realized. This is all. Anatma is a perishable one. There is anything that has a birth, there is a definite death on that one. So, oh God, Vishnu, please take away this samsara. I don't want this, thing. But somebody may be asking, he has given you this role that you are playing this one. Why all this play? Because there is only one, and all these duplicates and the duality is there. Why it is? And that is behind our conception, perception. It is called Leela. Leela is not only the sport. Leela connotes many meanings on that one. It is anirvichaniyam. Even the Maya itself, that why this avidya is anirvichaniyam. You cannot define, because it's eternal. Maya is not temporal. Maya is with him. Energy is playing with energetic, energetic one with the energy, these are all together. And it's a beautiful explanation, but we are struck with the Radha and Krishna. Radha Krishna is a personification of this energy and energetic. Energetic is being Krishna, energy is the Radha. This is nothing but in Ananya Bhakti, as we talked about the 5 ways of Bhakti yesterday, 5 ways of relations we talked about. This is the ultimate Ananya Bhakti. And with this first line and second line of the first sloka, and it beautifully explains completely about this, the Ekam Sat Vipra Bhuta Vadanti. And we'll be going to the second sloka, which will be explaining the duality. This is a non-dual. The second sloka is going to be about the duality. A duality is explained beautifully in the name of Lakshmi sitting at the feet of the Mahavishnu. What happened? Where did she come from? How did it happen? We'll talk about it in the next one.
Very good.
Very good.
Any questions?
There is one thought that occurs to me at this point, that when Sankaracharya came, the knowledge base was totally destroyed. Most of the universities were began to be declining. See, there were almost 100 universities at the time when the invasion began. The Islamic invasion began. In fact, before Sankaracharya came into being. The last big known university at that time that was left was Nalanda. Nalanda was destroyed in about 1193.
Between 9 and 11, I think.
1193.
1193?
The entire library was burned in it. So this explains why Shankara wanted to travel throughout India. Now, how do we bring this knowledge back into some repository or depository, whatever you would like to use? Therefore, he has to establish. See, at that time already the situation of the country was so piteous. We had been destroyed, the entire education system was being attacked and being destroyed by the invading hordes of barbaric people who did not understand what the education was all about. Then, on top of that, the Buddhism has taken away all the love for nature, love for the life itself. That the creation you see in the around you, or creation that is there, is not worth. It is what causing all the problems. So negating the life, right? Now Shankara's role then becomes very useful to establish this mathas that you said, right? Was almost an essential element for us to restore what was being lost. Of course, whatever was left, then we were colonized on top of that, right? That happened after Shankara's effort to restore Hinduism or Hindu thought processes, the visions. Now I think it's about time that we are colonized. Now it's about time for us to redevelop.
You're right, Vimalji, that the problem is we have 7 billion people now. Out of that, number one, 2.2 billion or 2.5 billion are the Christians, and 2 billion are Muslims. 1.3 billion are, these are the major religions, right?
We are about 23% if you look at it.
And then how do you dispute? This has been embedded over the thousands of years. How do you dispute that even the Buddhism, take the offshoot of the Hinduism, they are not telling any untruth. They don't believe in Vedas, but they call it's a Sunyam. Shankaracharya calls it the Purnam. It is Sunyam, Purnam is nothing but that what we are talking about is the Brahman, that Turiyam. Turiyam is the Sunyam and that. Now, how do you take out that one? So Buddhism, the way they are following is okay. We don't want this all dukkha, 4 dukkha, right? Is explained in the Buddhism. We don't want this, we want to be just nirvana. It's okay, their own way of thinking of that, And then Christianity, is that how can you explain only 5,000 years old creation? And then how can you stop your journey only up to the heaven? And heaven is somewhere else and God is sitting in somewhere else outside the creation. Means what is the outside? Who made the God? Is a God? How can you make that one? So this is the kind of things, how do you explain this one? This knowledge. These innovations and the distortions, all those things happen. So to answer your question, how do you restore, is centers like this. And then slowly it can pervade this knowledge slowly into that one. Giving explanation to all the rituals they are doing it. And then explaining everything. No matter how much gun control, how much you do, the mind, nobody can
change
that one. It is the mind, and mind can be changed, and that is coming in one of the words in this Shatapadi. Mind is only your friend and your enemy. It could be your enemy. You can mend it, blend it, and send anywhere you want, whatever you want. Right.
That's very good. See, my emphasis was, at least I was trying anyway.
Sure.
See, if you look at our existence in this land of ours that we have adopted, it's 50 to 60 years, and there are some others coming earlier, but most of us came in last 50, 60 years. We have built nearly 1,000 temples.
Right.
We have not created one institution of knowledge depository or dissemination
It
center.
takes time.
This time,
No. I am saying that, now I think we have fulfilled our requirement for the Mimamsa that you spoke about. How Mimamsa was. See, if you don't put a break on Mimamsa, you will create the same situation that happened if you don't watch it, where it is taken over by this superstition. See, Mimamsa, what does the Mimamsa tell us? There is a solution for every problem that you can imagine by some ritual. And we stop thinking, we stop reasoning, we stop preventing aggression of other systems, because we were not allowed to, we were not able to. In your school, I never heard of Sankaracharya. In my school education, up to high school, I never heard of it. That situation can occur if you continue to just build temples, but not the institution where knowledge is the, so to speak, knowledge of temple of knowledge, right?
totally.
Now that's where.
Yeah. I think a point is, I think the board also knows, but it's not totally true that there is no knowledge taking place in the temple. It's taking place indirectly, like Balagokulam. We are trying to infuse right from the beginning. Not only we are talking about that one when they chant the all these mantras and other things, they are giving the meaning. And they started giving the meaning on that one, making them understand. For example, we put that Vishnu Sahasranama, with a comparison on that one, with the visual aids, with make them understand what is Omkara, all those things. Slowly we can do that. But I 100% agree, only thing that we can do is centers like this. It could be a potential, kind of thing. And it helps the West and the East. East, they are in there, Ramana Maharshi said beautifully, is that water, your boat has to be in the water, not water in the boat.
Yeah.
Right. So what we are taking is all this world we are taking into us, and then we are confusing that who are we. We are forgetting ourselves. So world in us, that is the problem. That's the problem. So we need to make sure that water is not in our boat. So let us see how our boat can take off through this knowledge center, and then without getting that water into that, into our boat on that.
Just for information, it's not a question. You were correctly told that there are very, very versions are there about Shankara's birth and history.
Right.
Many people have written. But more or less the historians have concluded there is one version is the correct version. I mean, more or less very authentic version. It was written by the 10th disciple of Shankaracharya himself. His original name is Madhava, and then later he is called Vidyaranya.
Hmm.
Vidyaranya is the person who established Vijayanagara Samraj.
Yeah.
You know, in Andhra Pradesh. Such a great saint. He, through the what I call Guru Parampara, he got all the information about Shankaracharya and he wrote, that's called Madhava Jayam, it's called. So even today it is the entire scripture is available with the Shinkeriya ashram. They are maintaining it. Why there's a dispute in the Kaladi? Why? Because what happened once Shankara diverted the river for the sake of his mother. Mother could not go up to the river. So what happened by chanting the mantra, the river Purna got diverted. So it came near her mother's house so that she can take bath. Because of that, what happened, the river original trajectory and the new trajectory got confused and the people were not able to decide which is the correct place of birth as far as Shankara is concerned. So, just for information.
Yeah, but the original one is in the Chidambaram?
No, it is in Sringeri ashram.
Sringeri.
That is, they are maintaining the original scripture itself, written by Shankaracharya Vidyaranya. He is the 10th disciple.
Good to know that.
I think institutionalizing knowledge system requires a different approach than temple. Temple can serve as a focus of one or two areas, right? But we need to have an area where all of these knowledge system is taught formally, including Charvak. I mean, because we have a populations that could be at any different level that prescribe to different kinds of visions for the cosmos, right? Science is just one vision. Therefore, a university like what we are talking about, like Hindu University or something similar, need to come up. And our energy, some of the energy must be diverted towards that.
Sure, I understand. Definitely, I think there is a need. There is a need for that. There is a need. Definitely.
I'm just so pleading my case.
Yes. Yes.
Excellent talk, Doctor.
Oh, thank you.
Really.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wonderful, wonderful. See, from yesterday to today is very different. I found some Chandra, different Chandra today.
Let's do the Purna Mother. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri
Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Glory to our Gurus.
Thank you very much. It gives